Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of AAC Calcitech webinars. I'm Shweta Bhatt and I'm your host today. Before we begin, here are some few hygiene points. This is a listen only webinar. Kindly ensure that your microphone is muted and your video is turned off. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to use the chat box and we will compile all of the questions and address them at the end of the session. And if we run out of time, we will get back to you over email. Today's topic is overcoming DLMS smart metering challenges, simplifying implementation and ensuring interoperability. Today's speaker is Aparna Raghunath, Business Development Manager at Metering Services Calcitech. She has been with the organization for 6 years now, and her chief interests are design and implementation of DLMS protocol solutions, consulting and training in protocols like DLMS, COSEM, etc. She has conducted trainings for organizations like CPRI, PGCIL, KSEB, and she is also involved in the companion specification for APAC utilities. So let's begin the session. I hand over the session to Aparna. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. Hi, all. So now we'll get started with our topic for today, overcoming smart metering challenges by simplifying the implementation and ensuring interoperability. In this session, we will discuss the key challenges that we encounter during smart meter implementations and also how to address these challenges. Let's now dive into our session. Firstly, let's have an introduction to the DLMS protocol. We know that a smart grid is an electrical network which uses digital or other advanced technologies to monitor and manage the power flow happening between the point of generation and point of utilization or the consumer endpoint. But the next question is, how do we monitor the utilization happening within a smart grid? Here comes the role of smart meters, which helps us to monitor and manage power utilization within the smart grid. So the first question is now answered. But the next challenge is, how do we read the data from all meters in the network? Let's consider a scenario where we have two meters, meter 1 and meter 2. And the data from both of these meters reach a common monitoring station or head-end system. And if we need to communicate to both of these meters, we require a common language, a common set of rules, which we call as the protocol. And the protocol that we use exclusively for meters is the DLMS or Device Language Message Specification Protocol. And when we use DLMS for energy metering, we refer it to as COSEM or Companion Specification for Energy Metering. Next, let's discuss the importance of DLMS in smart metering. Why DLMS in smart metering implementations? One of the biggest pain points in smart metering is the lack of a unified communication standard. And DLMS solves this by offering a globally accepted standard, ensuring that any compliant meter can seamlessly communicate with utility systems. This standardized communication approach helps utilities to avoid vendor lock-in and makes scaling up the metering infrastructure much easier. Second is the seamless data exchange or transfer across different meters from different manufacturers. DLMS uses a well-defined object-based data model which ensures that all metadata such as energy consumption, voltage levels and event logs are structured in a standardized way. And this common structure allows utilities to easily collect, analyze and act on data regardless of which manufacturer's meter is in the field. By using DLMS, utilities don't need to develop custom software for every different meter type, which in turn saves significant time and deployment costs. The third point is that it enhances remote monitoring, billing accuracy, and grid management. The protocol enables utilities to remotely read meters in real time, eliminating the need for manual meter readings, which are prone to errors and inaccuracies. With remote monitoring, utilities can also quickly detect and respond to power theft, meter tampering, or faults that could occur in the network. This also ensures accurate billing to customers, improving the grid reliability and enhancing the energy efficiency. So, these benefits that we have discussed highlight why DLMS has become the most preferred standard for modern smart metering. However, while DLMS offers many advantages, its implementation in smart network does come with certain challenges, which we'll discuss in our upcoming slides. Moving on to the key industry challenges faced during DLMS smart metering implementations. The first key challenge is the complexity of DLMS protocol. Under this industry challenge, we have 3 points to be considered. First is the DLMS stack complexity. DLMS is a feature-rich protocol, but its complexity makes implementation challenging. The stack comprises of multiple layers, including application layer, data link layer, and transport layer, each requiring careful configuration. Developing a DLMS stack or implementation from scratch requires deep expertise in protocol development, memory optimization, and security handling, making it a complex as well as time consuming task. Second is the multiple communication media management. Smart meters need to support multiple communication medias such as RF, PLC, GPRS, and optical interfaces. However, managing seamless communication across these medias while ensuring reliability is a significant challenge as every communication medium will have different constraints. For example, RF and PLC generally have higher latencies as well as network congestion. On the other hand, cellular network may have packet loss issues. So to ensure DLMS functions smoothly across all communication channels, we will require careful protocol tuning, robust error handling, and adaptive retry mechanisms. The next challenge under this category is the OBIS code and data structure challenge. DLMS uses Object Identification System or OBIS codes to structure metadata. But handling these codes can be complex due to variations across meter manufacturers and country specific regulations. Utilities may have different data models requiring customized mappings of OBIS codes, further increasing the implementation effort. Additionally, ensuring that all meters in the ecosystem adhere to the same data structure is a challenge, leading to interoperability issues if not handled properly. We'll now discuss the interoperability challenges associated with smart metering implementation in detail. Moving on to the next set of challenge. Interoperability is one of the biggest challenges in DLMS based smart metering. Even though DLMS is a standardized protocol, achieving seamless communication between different devices is not always easy. Let's go through five major interoperability issues. The first point is the differences across meter manufacturers. Every meter manufacturer may interpret and implement DLMS specifications differently. And variations could be there in how objects are structured or how security mechanisms are applied, which can cause compatibility issues when integrating meters from multiple vendors in the same network. Second is the utility specific companion specification. Many utilities define their own set of rules to standardize meter behavior for their region. This customized DLMS is referred to as companion standard or companion specification. While this ensures consistency within utility network, it can create interoperability issues when trying to integrate meters from different utilities or different markets. Next is the certification and compliance challenge. Some meters may pass compliance testing but may still have integration issues due to undocumented variations in implementation. Fourth challenge is the protocol version mismatch. DLMS evolves over time with new versions introducing updates and improvements. So, if a utility is using meters with a different DLMS version, it could lead to compatibility issues. Older meters may not support newer security mechanisms or data structures, leading to communication failures. And the fifth point is diverse communication media handling challenge. Ensuring smooth data exchange across different communication medium is a challenge, and some hidden systems may not support all communication types, adding on to integration difficulties. Moving on to the next set of challenge, heading to security challenges in DLMS implementations. We know that security is a critical concern in DLMS based systems. As meters become more connected, they also become more vulnerable to cyber threats. Let's now discuss the five key security based challenges that we need to consider. First is the unauthorized access and data tampering. Unauthorized access can lead to data manipulation, meter bypassing, and energy theft. The attackers may try to modify meter readings or disable remote disconnection features to avoid billing. For example, if an attacker gains access to a meter's security keys, they can change billing data or even disrupt the grid operations. Hence, Strong authentication and role-based control are necessary to prevent such threats from happening. Second challenge is weak encryption and key management. Even though DLMS supports AES encryption, weak key management can still make our systems vulnerable. Utilities often struggle with secure key storage, key rotation, and distribution across millions of meters in the network. And poorly managed keys can also be stolen or reused, compromising the security of the entire network. The next security threat is replay attack and meter cloning. In replay attacks, attackers capture valid communication messages and then will resend them to manipulate the meter's behavior. Meter cloning is also another risk, where an attacker copies a meter's credentials and then registers a fake meter into the system. The only solution is to incorporate anti replay mechanisms, as such attacks can lead to billing fraud or network disruptions. Fourth is the firmware vulnerabilities. Smart meters rely on firmware for their operation, but unpatched firmware can contain security flaws. Attackers may exploit these flaws to inject malware, disable security features, or can gain control over our meters. Some real world examples of such vulnerabilities being exploited are the Mirai botnet attack, the Puerto Rico smart meter hacking incident of 2009, and the Dragonfly cyber attack that happened in 2015. So these incidents highlight why firmware vulnerabilities in smart meters must be proactively identified and patched prior to the deployment. Coming back to the fifth security challenge, compliance with evolving security standards. Security standards are constantly evolving, and as a result, utilities and meter manufacturers must ensure their systems are both future proof and adaptable. Next, let's discuss compliance and testing based challenges. Both compliance and testing are critical in DLMS smart metering to ensure reliability, interoperability, and security. Here are some critical considerations. First is the DLMS UA certification. This certification is essential for ensuring that meters conform to global metering standards. Certification also helps utilities trust that a meter will operate correctly with various hidden systems. Second point to consider is the utility specific compliance. Different utilities will have their own technical specifications based on market needs and regulatory requirements. So, the vendors must ensure that their meters not only meet DLMS UA standards but also specific utility guidelines. Third is interoperability testing. Interoperability ensures that meters from different manufacturers can communicate hassle-free with hidden system or other devices in the network. And testing involves checking communication protocols, data exchange formats, and backward compatibility. Lack of proper testing can often lead to vendor lock-in or failed deployments. The next aspect is security and encryption validation. With increasing cyber threats, Robust encryption and authentication mechanisms must be validated in our meters. Regular security testing will help to prevent vulnerabilities that could be exploited in large scale attacks. Fifth is the performance testing. Meters must be tested under different conditions to ensure accuracy and reliability over time. Testing includes power consumption efficiency check, data transmission rate check, and real time response to commands. And poorly tested meters may lead to billing inaccuracies, operational failures, and also customer dissatisfaction. Next, let's head to the DLMS implementation challenges in the field. Deploying DLMS-based smart metering solutions in real world or into an actual network presents several challenges. First is the connectivity and communication failure. Issues like network instability, interference, or incorrect communication settings can cause our meters to go offline. Second is the configuration and compatibility issues. Meters from different vendors may have variations in implementation, leading to integration challenges. Incorrect parameter configurations can also result in failed data exchanges or inconsistent readings. Next is the security and data integrity during field deployment. Secure data transmission is critical, but implementing encryption, authentication, and key management correctly can be very complex. Any security loophole can expose our meters data to unauthorized access or tampering. Fourth is firmware update and maintenance challenge. Remote firmware updates are essential for ensuring security fixes and feature enhancements in the meter. But they may face failures due to communication disruptions. Rolling out updates across large scale deployments requires robust version control and rollback mechanisms. The fifth challenge is testing and debugging in field deployments. Identifying and resolving issues in a live deployment is challenging, especially in remote areas with limited access to network. And lack of proper debugging tools can also make troubleshooting time consuming and inefficient. Next, let's discuss some of the commonly observed pitfalls in DLMS implementations. These pitfalls have been observed over years of our experience with multiple customers. The first pitfall is the misinterpretation of standard. Lack of clarity in standard interpretation leads to incorrect implementations. Devices from different vendors fail to communicate seamlessly, and differences in companion specification can create integration challenges, leading to the second concern, which is the interoperability issues. Third is the security oversights, which will expose meters to vulnerabilities such as weak key management, inadequate implementation of authentication, and access control. Fourth is the performance challenges. High latency in data exchange could happen due to inefficient protocol handling. Processing constraints in embedded environments may affect the meter's response time. Next pitfall is testing and validation gaps, leading to lack of thorough conformance and interoperability testing will result in field failures. Insufficient mechanisms for remote firmware updates will further increase the risk of meter failures due to improper version control. The seventh pitfall is resource constraints in embedded implementations. Limited memory and processing power in meters may impact the protocol efficiency, and optimizing the performance within embedded constraints is quite challenging. Moving on to the challenges that we need to consider on developing a DLMS stack from scratch. First is the resource intensive development. Building a DLMS stack requires significant time and skilled engineering resources. Custom implementations often demand deep knowledge of DLMS implementations and embedded system constraints. Second point is the complexity of protocol implementation. DLMS, as mentioned earlier, is a layered protocol with intricate communication mechanisms, and handling various transport layers such as HDLC, TCP, UDP further increases the development complexity. In addition to this, implementation of association control and security mechanisms is also challenging. Next is the difficulty to maintain compliance with evolving standards. The DLMS standard is frequently updated, requiring continuous adaptation and ensuring compatibility with new revisions and regional companion specification is very crucial. Fourth are the interoperability challenges. Devices from different manufacturers fail to communicate due to interpretation differences, and companion spec introduced variations requires additional customizations, further complicating the process. Next is the security implementation complexity. DLMS mandates advanced security mechanisms including AES encryption and HLS authentication. Also, processes such as key management, certificate handling, and secure firmware updates requires careful implementation. Some additional challenges to add on to this are the difficulty in finding engineers with DLMS knowledge and lack of readily available testing tools for conformance and interoperability testing. By now, we have seen developing a DLMS stack from scratch comes with a lot of significant challenges, complex implementation, evolving standards, interoperability issues, security concerns, and the need for skilled resources. Given these complexities, the next question arises: how can we simplify DLMS implementation while ensuring compliance, security, and interoperability? Here comes the role of our DLMS server SEL and client SEL stacks, which are designed to accelerate your DLMS implementations, reduce your development efforts, and to eliminate all the implementation challenges that we have discussed so far in our previous slides. Let's now explore how the server and client SEL address the industry challenges that we have discussed to enable a seamless rollout of DLMS based smart metering systems. Firstly, let me introduce the solutions to you. The DLMS source code library or SCL is a robust solution that is designed to simplify your DLMS implementations. It comprises of server SCL and client SCL, each catering to different aspects of smart metering communication. The server SCL is a DLMS server-side stack responsible for implementing metering functions and handling data exchanges. It ensures seamless communication between the meter and external systems, supporting compliance with evolving standards. On the other hand, client SCL acts as a DLMS client-side stack that facilitates communication with DLMS meters. It provides utilities, DCUs, or hidden systems with a standardized interface to retrieve and manage metering data efficiently. And together, these stacks eliminate the complexities of developing DLMS solutions from scratch, ensuring faster deployment, improved interoperability, and compliance with global metering standards. Next, let's discuss in detail how the SCL can simplify your DLMS implementation journey. Firstly, it offers a pre-built protocol handling, eliminating the need for developers to implement complex DLMS specifications from scratch. This ensures compliance with industry standards and speeds up the development process. Secondly, standardized communication guarantees interoperability between different devices and systems, reducing the integration challenges and ensuring smooth data exchange. And this is particularly important for utilities planning to deploy large scale smart metering infrastructures. Another key benefit is customer satisfaction. By simplifying the development and deployment, SCL enables faster troubleshooting, better reliability, and an enhanced user experience for you. This leads to fewer service disruptions and improved operational efficiency. In terms of efficiency, SCL saves both time and cost by reducing the development effort, minimizing the debug time, and accelerating the deployment. This further translates into faster time to time market and lower project costs. Finally comes the most important point, risk mitigation, which is a crucial advantage. With a proven and tested DLMS stack, you can avoid potential implementation errors, security vulnerabilities, and compliance issues. This ensures long term stability and reliability of your smart metering solutions. By addressing these critical areas of challenge, SCL provides to you a comprehensive, ready to use solution that simplifies your DLMS implementation and enhances the overall efficiency of your smart metering systems. Next, let's discuss the key features offered by the server and client SCL. One of the most highlighted feature of this stack is that it is fully compliant with DLMS UA standards, ensuring seamless interoperability across electric, water, and gas meters. So, based on your required type of meter or other end devices, the same stack can be customized and used. Second highlight of the library is its adaptability across a wide range of platforms. It's platform independent and can be used from a simple microcontroller without an OS to a full-fledged desktop. The design also facilitates easy migration and porting across different hardware or OS configurations. Additionally, the stack follows a modular approach where platform-specific functionalities are separated into files, allowing seamless integration with default implementations available for both Windows and Linux. Moreover, it supports both HDLC and COSM wrapper for IP, ensuring compatibility across diverse communication protocols in smart metering applications. Next is the support that it offers for both event notifications and data notifications, enabling real-time updates and smooth integration with monitoring stations. The stack is also fully compatible with Mode E communication protocol. In addition, for embedded systems, memory constraints are a crucial consideration. And our stack is optimized to address these limitations, making it suitable for resource constrained environments as well. Next is security. Our stack supports all the security suites, Suite 0, Suite 1, and Suite 2, along with support for all authentication mechanisms from the lowest to HLS2, 5, and 7, all are supported. Additionally, it supports multiple companion specifications across electric, water, and gas meters, ensuring adaptability to all your requirements. Having discussed the key features of the server and client SCL, you might have understood the critical role that is played by these stacks in DLMS implementations. Now we'll go through a case study which will help you to understand how our customers have benefited by adopting the stack. Many of our utility, HES or DCU customers as well as meter manufacturer customers often struggle with interoperability challenges, security concerns, and compliance requirements when they are getting started with DLMS implementations. And these complexities can lead to longer development cycles, increased costs, and difficulties in ensuring regulatory adherence. However, by adopting Kalkitech Server and Client SCL, our customers have successfully streamlined their DLMS implementations. The stacks have enabled them to overcome the interoperability challenges, ensure secure data exchange, and simplify compliance with DLMS UA standards. The results speak for themselves. Our customers who have implemented these solutions have seen an 85% reduction in development time, allowing for faster deployment of smart metering systems. Moreover, the advanced features offered by the stack have strengthened their compliance with industry standards, ensuring long-term reliability and data protection. Next, let's head to a live demo illustration with our server and client SCL. So this will help you to understand the solutions and it's working better. Firstly, let me take you through the server SCL. Here on the right side, you can see the wide range of interface classes or objects that are supported by the server. And then from this list, you can select your required ICs for your meter implementation and then customize in the obis.h file or header file. We have configured a sample object list here, and the ICs required with their unique OBIS code can be mapped to this. We have added data object, register object, a clock object, a profile generic object along with mandatory association and security objects. Objects can be added to this list based on the meter implementation that you want to implement. After once we complete the objects that we require for our meter implementation, we have to configure the access rights or privileges that we need to set for each object under each association. Let's go to the access right configuration part. Here you can see that for every object that we have added, we have uniquely assigned a privilege or access right. Followed by this, we have the association list. And in the association list, we can configure details such as number of associations required, client IDs, application context as with or without ciphering, and the authentication mechanisms can be configured here. All the authentication mechanisms are supported and it can be chosen based on your requirement. After configuring the association, next is the security configuration. Going to the security configuration section, here you can see informations or details such as security policies and security suite can be chosen from here. As mentioned earlier, all the security suites, suite 0, 1 and 2 are supported. Once we are done with the security configuration, we are now ready to start the server. Let's start the server. Followed by that, we'll start our client application as well to see a live illustration of how the communication works. So this is the client SEL. The client SEL is also a fully platform independent stack that can be directly incorporated into your hidden systems, DCUs or communication modules to function as a DLMS client. Let's start our client as well. Now we'll try to establish communication between the server and the client. Let's see if we are able to communicate successfully. We have to give some inputs in our client to communicate successfully with the meter. The different communication profiles that are supported are provided here. For the time being, let's go with TCP. Next is the application context. We can go with or without ciphering options. Let's go with without ciphering, giving it as 1. Next is the authentication level. As mentioned, we have support for all the authentication levels. Going with the lowest authentication level for the time being. Now, in any process of communication, the first step is to establish communication with the meter. And for this, a request is sent by the client to the meter. And in response, we are expecting a response back from our meter, which we call as the association response. And here, in our case, we have successfully received the response from the meter. Establishing the communication with the meter has been successful, which is why we have got a indication that the application association is success. Followed by that, we can perform different services on the meter. These are some of the basic operations supported. Along with that, we are also offering support for some advanced features. First, let's try doing a get service wherein we are trying to fetch data from the meter. choosing it as 1. Now going back to the meter implementation and to the object list so that you can see what are the objects that we can try to fetch. So this is our object list as we have seen earlier, and from this list, first let's try to do a get on this IC1 data object attribute 2 or the value attribute. So we have to give the OBIS code in our client. The OBIS code is 0001025. These codes can be given according to how you want or according to your requirement. It can be customized and given. Class ID is 1 and attribute is 2, the value attribute. Now you can see we were able to successfully retrieve the value of IC1 object. This is the value returned by the meter. Followed by this, we'll perform a get with block service as well. This time we'll do get on IC7 profile generic object. So this is our IC7 object that we have configured. So let's give the OBIS code here in our client 10949110 As mentioned, these codes can be given according to your requirement. Class ID is 7. Attribute is the buffer attribute, which is attribute 2. Version is 1. We'll go with no selective access so that you can see how all entries are coming. Now you can see we have received a total of 10 entries from our meter with 16 capture objects. These are also customizable. Right now we have configured the entries as 10 or the maximum entry limit as 10. It can be given based on your requirement. If you require 1000 entries or 10,000 entries, you can configure it accordingly. It's a fully customizable stack. The capture objects can also be given according to your requirement. Now we have seen get with block operation. Next, let's perform a set operation. We'll be performing set on IC3 attribute 2. Performing set. You can also see the packets here are updated according to how the DLMS protocol demands each operation needs to be, or the packet structure is structured in a way that it follows the DLMS rules and regulations. We have got the set as successful here. We were able to successfully alter the IC3 attribute 2. Followed by this, we'll perform a action operation as well. Going with the third service, and we'll perform action on IC3, which is this object, on method ID 1. Let's give the OBIS as 0001225. Class ID is 3 and method ID is 1. And now you can see the packets are updated according to how an action packet needs to be according to DLMS, and we have got successful response also. So by now we have seen how communication works between DLMS server and client implementations. And these ready to use stacks can be deployed directly into your systems, your implementations based on your requirement across any environment or any platform. Now, we'll discuss some additional use cases where the server and client SCL will be beneficial for you. These DLMS stacks are widely adopted in industrial metering, enabling factories and large-scale industries to monitor and optimize energy consumption efficiently. They also support renewable energy integration, allowing seamless communication with solar, wind, and hybrid energy systems for better energy management. For prepaid metering systems, DLMS stack helps utilities to implement pay-as-you-go models, improve revenue collection, and customer flexibility. The stack is also being widely used in EV charging infrastructure, ensuring secure and accurate energy billing for electric vehicle chargers. Also, expanding beyond electricity, it is now being widely adopted across water and gas metering segments as well. Lastly, remote metering in rural areas can be improved by using DLMS stack to enable smart metering solutions in off-grid and remote locations, improving the accessibilities and operational efficiency. So these examples highlight or demonstrate how DLMS stacks can be used to solve a wide range of problems existing around us in order to provide a standardized, secure, and interoperable DLMS based solution. With this, we are concluding our webinar for today. We hope the session has been insightful for you in understanding the key challenges that you need to consider when you're getting started with DLMS smart metering implementations. And we have also seen how the DLMS server and client SCL simplify the implementation process, enhancing interoperability and efficiency. Thank you very much for joining us for the webinar today. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Aparna, for that wonderful session. There are some questions from the audience I would like to read out. One is, what are the companion standard for gas and water meters which uses DLMS?
Mainly for gas meters and water meters, the companion specifications vary according to each country. We have the six specifications, for example, for gas meters for Italy. So these companion specifications vary according to the region, and these rules are determined by the country where these meters are being deployed.
Okay, thank you. There's another question. Does your stack support version 44 compression for heavy data exchanges?
Yes, that is supported by the stack.
Okay, there's another series of questions. Is this DLMS, SCL, and application software? Can I use this with any EMS software?
Yes, you can use it across any energy management softwares that you want to deploy. As I mentioned earlier, it can be used in a wide range of scenarios for energy management and energy monitoring. So, yes, it can be used.
Okay, just getting to the next question is, if we take this solution, who will make the configuration as you showed in the live demo?
The stack offers a base DLMS stack, which can be either directly deployed into your systems, or if you want to add on customizations, you can definitely approach us. We'll be there to help you with the implementation process, or otherwise, you can develop it independently according to your requirement.
Okay, I think last couple of questions is, where do we have to use the server and client? Any definition is there?
For any device that you want to perform as a DLMS meter, you can use the DLMS server SCL. And for any device that you want to act as a DLMS based client, such as hidden systems or DCUs, wherein you will be fetching the data from your meters, you can go with the DLMS client SCL.
Okay, and are these packets are they in Modbus or something else? Is the next.
These are the communication that we did in TCP. So these packets that we saw in our live demonstration correspond to TCP communication based packets according to how the DLMS protocol demands the packet structures to be in TCP.
Okay, I think few more questions here, Aparna. Can the stack be adopted to the generic profile standards recently released by the DLMS UA?
Yes, it can be adapted to the recent changes. As I mentioned, this is a fully customizable stack, so it can be customized to any extent that you want.
Mhm. Okay. Just what is the code and data size of server SCL? Uh,
The memory requirement of server, the minimum memory requirement is usually 100 KB with A plus E security, and for the client it is 128 KB with A plus E. And if you don't want to go with a security based implementation, 20 KB can be further reduced from both of these minimum requirements.
okay. Can the stack run on miniature PC, example Raspberry Pi or Jetson Nano?
Yes, it's platform independent as well as it is adaptable across any environment that you want.
Yeah. The last question here is, can we test TCP/IP wrapper protocol with DTT or CTT tool?
If the question is related to an integration testing, yes, it can be done.
Okay. Someone is typing something. Yeah. DLMS pricing, I think. Yeah, this is something that
Please contact us
the
to get
sales
a
team.
detailed information on the pricing.
Yeah. Is the stack compliant to MISRA regulations? It's another question.
Yes, it complies with the Mishra guidelines.
Okay, we just have time for any last questions and we wrap up. Can you share the contact details? I think we will send it over email. How are we maintaining the versions of the stack?
Well, with
It's
every revision that comes or with every change that comes, the stack is updated to accommodate these changes. And then this upgraded stack is shared across all our customers. So you can be assured that you are always updated to the latest recommendations of the DLMS UA, as the stack is updated very frequently to any revision that happens.
right. How to manage in the different versions in already installed meters across the globe.
The latest versions will be shared with you once you're subscribed to the tools or the products. You'll be receiving the latest release, and after once you receive the latest release, you can build it and integrate it to the platforms that you want or incorporate it into the platforms that you want.
Yeah, I think one more question to go. That is, can you brief about COSM, please? It's another request.
COSM, as mentioned, is the DLMS that is specifically used for energy metering. So it is a companion specification that we specifically use for energy metering.
Is it a subscription basis license or one time license?
It is a subscription based license, but you can also purchase a perpetual license if that is required.
Does the stack support CIG gas specifications?
Yes, it is supported.
What kind of technical support is available if we face any integration issues?
We have a dedicated support team to resolve all your queries. So this dedicated team is just for handling your queries regarding the SCL, the server SCL and client SCL. So in case if you come across any concerns after purchasing the stack, our team will be there to assist you.
Yeah, the last one is the stack open source? And is there any programming language involved in DLMS protocols? That's
It
the only
depends
type.
upon the yeah, it depends upon the product that you are going to implement. As mentioned, this stack can be used across any platforms or any environments. It's not OS dependent or language dependent.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for your questions. It's just running out of time. Any other questions, we will reach out to you over email, and we'll also share the our sales office contact details. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
again.
much. Have a good day.